Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Force Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Okay, so I want to talk about the release calendar shuffle.
I've heard Avengers has been moving around.
Right, and I believe that is also going to be affecting Star Wars. So, one of the big changes that I think is going on is there was a Star Wars movie dated for December 2027, but that is likely to be moved.
That was probably the Starfighter movie, right? That's probably the
I
one
think
that's going to be
that
after. I mean, it's
was
got to
the
be, right?
assumption.
Because none of the other ones are really anywhere near as far into production as that one. Which that one, they made a big deal at Celebration. Like, no, this is happening. Like, we're in, like, pre-production right now. So, I'm going to assume that was going to be then.
Yeah, so the untitled project for December 2027 is not on the calendar at all anymore. It's gone. It's been moved. It's somewhere else now. And this is because of the next two Avengers movies. Not exactly 100% sure why all the Avengers movies are moving. Is it just some sort of delay? I'm not
They got to
sure.
be behind. They just started,
Probably.
like, filming Doomsday, didn't they? So, to
Yeah.
have that out, like, next May?
And I think it's also because they scheduled Doomsday terribly.
They scheduled it right
First,
around
yeah.
The Mandalorian and Grogu, yeah.
It was early 2026, May.
Well, that's when the other Avengers movies have come out, May.
Right, but it's now going to be moved to December 18th, 2026, which is better because Mando and Grogu is May 22nd, 2026.
Star Wars is taking May back, and Avengers is being pushed into that December slot that Star Wars was in the sequel trilogy.
I think that's a good move. I think you definitely don't want Avengers coming out like 2 weeks before Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because one is going to steal views from the other. You want each of them to get their own time to go, this is my money. This is my time. I think you give them each
This is my money.
You know what I'm saying,
I know
though?
what you're saying,
When
yeah.
you put a movie out, I think you should give it a solid month before you're trying to take views from yourself.
Yeah, before you put out the same studio, essentially.
Well,
not
you're going
studio,
after a
but-
lot of similar fan base, you could definitely say.
Oh, there's a ton
lot of people who
overlap.
like
We know
Star
that.
Wars, who like also are Avengers or comic fans. So I
You
think
don't
that was
say, yeah.
it's different when DC's company is like, you know what, we're putting out a movie the same month as you.
Yeah,
Because
because
they
they're
want to
competition.
compete with you.
Yeah,
They
they
want to
wanna
see
cut
if
you
they can
down.
take your money. But a lot of times the studios will still bow them away from each other. They don't want that
Yeah.
competition.
Because you realize some people are going to pick the other guy.
You want to make your own money, so you don't want to put things that are too similar in scope or nature or fandom to compete. To replace the Doomsday that they moved, Disney has placed the Devil Wears Prada sequel.
Oh, sorry,
There,
Mando and
it's going to be
Grogu.
on May 1st. No, that's not
Sorry,
going to compete.
guys. I'm going to go watch that instead.
No, that won't compete. That'll be one of those movies that the guy goes, I'll take you to see Devil Wears Prada if you come to see Mando and Grogu with
it's
me.
It's genius, isn't it?
I saw the first one. It was a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's great.
It has
The devil's
Anne
in it
Hathaway
wearing
in
Prada.
it. It's got Meryl Streep in it.
Yeah, there's Prada, and I don't even know what
It's
Prada
fashion.
is.
It's fashion. Clothes.
Exactly why I don't know
famous
why it
clothing
is.
designer.
Actually,
Very
I
upscale.
did know that. I was just trying to
No,
make
Devil
myself
Wears Prada is
sound dumb.
actually a really good movie, and there's more to it than meets the eye. Someday, maybe
Are
someday.
you saying there's Transformers in it? Now
There
you're
is
really trying to
definitely
get me to watch it.
transformation in it.
Oh, then that's not the... No. Sorry.
Okay, in Avengers Secret Wars was dated for May 5th, 2027, and has moved to December 17th, 2027, which is where an entitled Star Wars movie was placed. I think this means for 2027, we're just going to get Starfighter, which was already targeting May 28th, 2027, which is 3 days after the 50th anniversary of Star Wars.
Yeah, good time to put out a Star Wars movie, I
I
suppose.
think they were aiming for an additional movie that year. I think they were aiming for 2 Star Wars movies in 2027. I think they were aiming for the James Mangold movie, perhaps.
Ambitious when you go like 6 years without one. Suddenly, like, yeah, we're going to do 2 this year. Yeah.
But now that they've put Secret Wars into that slot, the Avengers movie, I think, is going to turn off whatever ghost project they had sitting there.
Yeah, I don't think there ever was. I think they were just kind of... It was like a wishful thinking kind of thing. Like, we're going to hold this
think it
date just in
was-
case we can finally get our act together.
I mean, that could have been the Rey movie, too, if it got its feet off the ground.
Yeah. Every year that goes by without any major updates other than we got a new writer.
I think it's kind of crazy in a sense that we have a solid date for Mando and Grogu. It's done filming. It is in post. We know it's
Yeah,
coming,
it's
100%. But then I didn't realize, I was flabbergasted at Celebration when they said that the next movie was going to be Starfighter. Because that one we just all of a sudden heard of out of nowhere.
Well, the Sean Levy movie had been, but you're right. I mean, it was kind of like
mentioned,
rumored, and
talked
hinted,
about,
yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, by the way, it's the next movie."
Yeah, even though we announced like 3 other ones, or more than that if you count like Taika
I think they're going into
Waititi's
production really soon.
Yeah, it's supposed to be this fall, right? They're supposed to start like actually like filming this thing.
Because they're kicking it off. They are going full steam ahead. But as to what comes after that, it could be anything.
I think it's the James Mangold movie.
I mean, there's the Rey movie, there's the James Mangold movie, there's Taika Waititi's I'll get to it someday if I have time. There's the Dave Filoni project, Simon Kinberg project. They're all in development.
Simon Kinberg's got the trilogy going too. Wow, there's like I mean, there's always like 17 Star Wars movies in production, right? So this doesn't feel any different, and yet maybe it's different this time.
It was like 7 total if you count that one as a trilogy.
Yeah.
That are just in limbo as to what's going on with them.
If I had to be a betting man, I'm going to say Kennedy is indeed going to be gone soon-ish, probably by the end of the year. And I do think the Rey movie might just end up going with her, especially if that Starfighter movie with Ryan Gosling does really well. They might kind of lean more into that post-sequel trilogy than Rey stuff.
Well, what's interesting to make note of is Kathleen Kennedy had said in an interview that around June we should be getting an outline for Kinberg's trilogy. The first outline should be coming in.
Well, I mean, they will be, not us.
And not us.
Yeah, they're not going to put that on the internet. Like, here's what we got planned for the next 3 movies.
Taika is in post-production for his movie Clara in the Sun.
Cool.
Yep, and then he's also like writing a co-script with somebody else. We don't know what the heck's going on with Charmine's movie, with the Rey movie. We know she's working with a new writer, George Nolfi, I believe.
Yeah,
came on board last fall.
I'm really starting to doubt that one, even though I've been defending it in a manner of speaking, because they bring out Daisy Ridley at Celebration years ago.
I think the Complete Unknown, that biography that Mangold was working on, I think that's done now.
It's out. That came out a while ago.
And that he hired Bo Willimon
from Andor
to co-write his script. But Starfighter's moving forward. Obviously, we've got an outline of what we can expect, right?
Well,
sort of.
I mean, what we can maybe eventually get, if it all actually happens.
All right, let's jump into a minor news story then.
Okay.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 has all of a sudden just reached peak player time and stuff at Steam, which is renewing calls for the Battlefront 3.
Are they making Battlefront 3?
There was a rumor, and then it just never got any traction, never went anywhere. They didn't seem to really have a plan. But all of a sudden there was a huge spike in players playing Battlefront 2, but the most obvious reason for that, it was just Star Wars Day, and EA was like, hey, $6 a month for a subscription, you can get all these free AAA Star Wars bundles that included Battlefront 2, Squadrons, and Jedi Fallen Order for $90. You get all 3 games.
Okay.
And then, of course, you had the Fortnite Star Wars Galactic Battle event going on that drives up a little interest in another Star Wars title.
But wouldn't they just play that?
You'd think. But
I don't know. I never got into the Battlefront 2 online multiplayer.
No.
I did the first one. I played the hell out of the first one. First one, I mean of the new generation. I like the old ones too.
Just really liked when I got to play as the Ewoks in the Ewok hunt.
Yeah, that was the second one. You played the hell out of that.
That was fun. I really enjoyed that.
You have a video of me.
I do have a video of you.
You know exactly where I'm, getting very angry playing Battlefront 1 at one point.
I think it was all a sound recording, though. I was just sneakily recording the sound.
Yeah, because you didn't want me to know.
I didn't want you to know what I was doing.
If you would have pointed the phone at me, I would have known. Yeah.
I do have a couple of videos, I think, of me actually playing Battlefront. One of them, I look like I did really well, and I'm like, there's a fluke.
That was Battlefront 2. You have one clip where you killed 6 people in 20 seconds and just look like you're amazing.
I've never done that before. I don't know what was happening. It was great.
But it's all out of context, because if you watch the other 10 minutes, those are the only 6 people you killed. Nah, you do actually pretty good in that game.
When I get to play how I want to play, I do well.
Yeah, very stealthy and just sit there.
Yeah, I like to kind of stealth. I wait. I'm patient, and then
too patient sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes, well, because when you move, they see where you are.
Yeah.
So if I stay still and I wait, I usually ambush people when they go running past and don't realize that I have moved up. Usually I'll try and sneak way up in the enemy lines, and I just wait for people to walk past me, and I just pick them off. They don't even know I was there.
Yeah, you're that person who's shooting them from behind when they spawn. Yeah.
No, not when they spawned.
Well.
They'd spawn and they'd run past me.
Yes, they go in the hall and then
they don't realize that I have crept that far behind enemy lines.
Yes.
And then I have to find a new spot, because eventually they realize, you think that stormtrooper is still there?
Yeah, well, they're going to immediately go back and try to kill you when you do that, yes.
Well, they don't always know I'm still there.
I know you're very
Sometimes I'll
shady.
move to like just a close to the same spot, but not far, and they go to look there, and I'm like, no, that was in my sights.
But anyway,
That's how I
Battlefront
play.
2 is being replayed apparently. I've been tempted to try it again because I just didn't get into it. Not for any like I didn't like it, it just didn't line up and just didn't play it.
Yeah.
I played the campaign, which was okay. Luke was cool in it. But anyway, I think that's all we got for you this time. Now it is your turn. Take to the comments below. Tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. Tell us if you're playing Battlefront 2 again. Whatever the case may be, leave a comment below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.